Hi, I'm CM Williams, and this is the video about algorithms. Knowing how the social media algorithms work can help you put together a boss social media strategy. And I'll share with you both how the algorithm works in Facebook and Instagram, and I'll give you a few strategy tips. I'll also talk about some habits you may need to stop doing on social media if you're gonna take it seriously. I'm gonna start broad with what the algorithm is, and then I'll bring it in and focus it up on our purpose of improving your social media presence. An algorithm, by definition, is a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or problem-solving operations, especially by a computer. It's automated reasoning to achieve a desired result. Please don't leave the video quite yet. This will get better. It's not going to be all math jargon. So typically, in order for a machine or computer to do anything, it has to be given or coded step-by-step instruction, and that's programming. But there's also programming that tells the computer to learn, and that's machine learning. You know, like the Sentinels on X-Men. Yeah. Machine learning is used for pattern recognition and data mining. That is the secret sauce for Facebook, Instagram, Netflix, and the rest of the online party. And this is a huge part of how they make their money, if you've been wondering. Whenever you're within Instagram and Facebook, this algorithm is constantly raking content on those apps to cater best to you. So unless you have a true identical twin, no two timelines are the same. And it's a part of why a lot of people think everybody else in the world is crazy. Because what happens is we get put into these little filter bubbles. While we're online liking, commenting, interacting with each other, sharing posts, sending posts, the algorithm by design begins to feed you more and more and more of the same content and similar content that you interact with on the daily. People you see on your timeline consistently are people that the algorithm decided are the right people that's going to keep you on the app as long as possible. The algorithm also takes relationships and family into account, because typically they're who you see first on your timeline. No matter how many followers they have, no matter how little followers they have, you're seeing your family and closest friends first. It determines what's going to be in your news feed, what ads you see, shows to recommend you, all based on how you move online. Because the end game here is to sell your attention to advertisers. The algorithm works really hard to keep you in the app as long as possible for Facebook and Instagram to be able to sell ad space and justify the cost of the ad space. And when you pay to play, as in you pay for a promotion, you really aren't gambling. The algorithm works so much in the favor, really focusing on the audience that you want to see your post. But yeah, that's why you never have to pay a single cent to use Facebook or Instagram, because you are the product. Yeah, we're all a bunch of little dirty cyber human traffickers. Now onto how you can use that information to your advantage. Firstly, the algorithm's constantly being changed based on business practices, ethics, online trends, human behavior. So if you're watching this video a few years from now, stop and click on whatever current link I probably have somewhere on here. And now, so we know that its goal is to keep your attention. Well, how is the Facebook and Instagram algorithm measuring that? Well, let's talk about some of the key insights that the algorithm prioritizes to determine that a post is keeping a user's attention. And then let's follow it up with how we can use that to your advantage. So the key insights are saves, comments, likes, and shares, and kind of sort of views for videos. And I'll explain that. So saves are being circulated online by marketing specialists as super likes. And since the master plan of the algorithm is to keep your attention, then the fact that you saved a post and told it that you're going to spend even more time and try to digest that post later is a huge thumbs up in the eyes of the algorithm. And saves typically get awarded to more informational posts or educational posts, or say a product or service that a business or user might use later. Comments are very important based on the fact that the algorithm takes into account who you're interacting with online. The people you typically see on the top of your timeline are people that you engage with and actually comment back and forth with most often. So some solid advice here is to start replying to more of your comments if you don't. And even in your DMs are interaction that the algorithm takes into account. So within reason, respond to the messages in your inbox. You messaging that person according to the algorithm is still pretty much you going back and forth in the comment stream with them. Likes. Now likes are still considered a valid measurement that's taken into account when ranking posts, but it doesn't quite pull all the weight it used to, just because it doesn't really take much effort to just swipe, tap. I mean, you can double tap just real quick for support and keep going, but what it really wants to see is the interaction. So whenever you're posting your post, try adding an engaging question or caption within that post, something that'll compel the user to actually interact and engage with the post. And when you start to get that engagement, the likes will show up as a byproduct of the engagement under your post. Shares. People thought your content was so cool, funny, and formal that they had to show someone else. Sharing a post is like the internet equivalent of saying,
"Somebody come and look at this. Look at this."
Views. Now the views measurement is interesting because the creators of Instagram have said that the algorithm actually doesn't favor either video or photo. They treat them both the same. But the point of the algorithm is still attention. With that said, naturally, if a video is playing on your timeline, you have to stop and watch it because you can't digest a photo in the video the same way. You have to watch the video, which means you're spending more time on that post. And more people spending more time on a post means the algorithm's gonna jump it up in the ranks. But there's another perk to posting videos on your page, and although the algorithm treats them fairly, the Instagram layout actually gives videos an advantage because on your discover page on your Instagram, not only do videos take up more real estate on the discovery page, they're in motion. So human nature, the thing that's bigger and moving is gonna catch your eye. You're gonna gravitate toward that and click it. And click it. So as you'll of course hear me say often on this channel, post videos on your Instagram. Use videos as a tool to rack in more followers. You can do something even as simple as just turning the photo you were gonna take into a boomerang, or adding a song to it and just, it's a still image, but it's a video to Instagram. And then boom, on the discovery page, that photo is bigger than everything else. So now with that knowledge, here are 6 bits of advice that you can add to your strategy to beat the algorithm. First, you obviously have to be able to see your insights. So if you haven't already, turn your Instagram account from a personal account to a business account. Like right after this video goes off, go to Instagram, follow me, and then turn your page into a business page. Changing your account to a business page isn't gonna change how Instagram treats your account. It's gonna be the same account, except you've unlocked the ability to see your analytics and for you to be able to pay to promote your post. Number 2, use the stories feature. A great way to follow up those interactions you've been having on the daily with different users is to post a story, because what's gonna happen is when you interact with people and they interact back with you, they're gonna start seeing your stories rise up in the ranks and they'll see them more often and they'll watch those stories. And then go beyond that, use the tools within the stories to get used to engage even with your story. So you can add a poll, you can add a question, and that's even more interaction points from the algorithm, and that's gonna keep your post ranked high on your followers' timelines. 3 is your timing. And one reason my first bit of advice was for you to be able to see your analytics is because the analytics actually shows you when your followers are most active. It shows you by day of the week and it shows you what time. And if they happen to always be active, then you just can't miss. So obviously the tip here is going to be to post when your followers are most active and are online. And I'll follow that up with getting on a schedule. Find the sweet spot between when it's feasible for you to actually post throughout the day and when your followers are most active. Now there is no right cadence. I mean, you can obviously flood your timeline too much or just appear like you're inactive, but there is no proven like amount of times you should post. Most people say about 3 a day, 2 or 3, but you definitely want that schedule to be consistent. That way over time at a steady pace, you're just consistently getting more followers, more interactions, and you'll look up and you'll scroll down your page and see how much your interaction is growing, your engagement is growing on your page. And what starts happening with that is there's a bit of like a snowball avalanche effect. It's only gonna be more exponential over time. And if you're someone who has a problem like hanging out on the app and actually engaging, schedule a time during your day for you to engage. Block an hour out of your day to literally be on social media if you want to take it seriously, and comment and engage and message and, you know, just entertain the type of people you want following. And I say that because you want to make sure you have, and I've said it before, your online tribe. You're not going to get the best result out of random followers. You want to streamline your, the interest your followers has, or rather you want followers with a streamlined interest. You can't force your followers to, And then number 5, use those hashtags and those geotags. Some people say the sweet spot is like 9. I say use all 30. And if you argue it looks spammy, I mean, as long as you kind of separate the caption and the hashtags, it doesn't look spammy on the timeline. And you want your hashtags to be something at least remotely related to the thing you're posting. And you can hashtag both your posts and your stories. But yeah, while you may have a limited and finite number of followers, people all over the place can also follow hashtags and be recommended hashtags by Instagram right there on the discovery page of their timeline. Geotags and hashtags simply puts more eyes on your post. It throws a lot more potential out there for people to engage with you. Instagram will throw that on some of their timelines. And one really simple thing you can do, especially if you have any like a day where you just don't know what to post or don't have any posts ready or scheduled, you can rotate and swap out your hashtags in your old post. So whenever you're thinking about it, I know with me, just whenever I'm thinking about it, I'll go back to old posts and I'll put a new set of hashtags. They'll still be related, but there'll be a new set of hashtags, and that's a whole new set of fresh eyes on your post. And if that post had great engagement first go around, then it'll likely just rekindle the engagement under that post again and create new conversations. You may even have people that posted under there rejoining the conversation because there's new users on it. The last tip is quality over quantity. If you're gonna play the game, you have to play by the algorithm's rules. And you have to use whatever resources at your disposal to make your post look worth the damn to look at and engage with. The posts that get the likes and the shares are typically posts that have a certain presentation about them. And last section, these are things that users should stop doing on social media. Doing giveaways where you have this long list of requirements to save, share, comment, tag, all that in order for users to get entries in the contest or drawing, whatever. Unless that giveaway has something to do with your online tribe. But the wrong way to do it is just to give something away to snatch up some quick followers. Like if you have a tech blog, then like give away a computer component. I ran into a page where it not only wanted you to follow them, tag somebody, follow some other account, save it, share it, they wanted you to also save 30 of their posts. Come on. Doing that may give you a sudden pop of engagement and followers due to all the tags on your post. But what's gonna happen is following that, you're gonna have a bunch of followers that don't engage with your post. And in turn, no one's gonna see your post. You're gonna have a lot of followers, but no one's gonna see your post because your posts are gonna be ranked at the bottom of those followers' timelines, and no one's scrolling down that far before they just refresh the feed or jump to the next social media. Your page will become super stagnant following that spike in followers. And users that pay attention, they periodically cleanse their following, or they'll just begin to unfollow you over time when they see that your content isn't anything they want to look at. Something else you'll have to stop doing if you want to take the app seriously is don't just post and then dip, and don't touch the post for the rest of ever. Post and ghost. If you want to play the game, you obviously have to participate. How can your post stay ranked up high if there's no conversation happening under your post? So again, reply to those comments and use captions that are gonna push the user to engage with your post. It can be as simple as Team PS5 or Team Xbox. Boom, instant engagement. And if you do kind of have a problem with actually interacting, again, try blocking off time for you to interact on social media. I know it sounds ridiculous to somebody, but
It is what it is.
it is what it is. Something else users can stop doing is stressing over the first 30 minutes of their post's existence. At least not anymore. It's been debunked by the IG creators. The algorithm doesn't care when the engagement happens. It just cares that it's happening, which is again why I told you that you're able to go re-hashtag an old post and it's back on the top of timelines again. The last thing is you also don't have to stress over having like a theme on your Instagram page layout. And I'm not talking like all of your pictures have a certain color palette. That's cool. I mean like pages where there's like a picture and then like a solid color square here and then a picture there, and like it's like a pattern of content that's filler and informal. But I mean, the filler content is what's gonna mess you up here. Unless you're married to the idea, or that's like the type of page you are, you're like a design page, I don't know. Or unless you've managed to actually make what's typically the filler content like still engaging, then you don't have to worry about this. But theme layouts in a nutshell force you to post fluff on your page, and in turn puts fluff on people's timeline. And the fluff post, this even goes for like those like apps where you can like use 9 images to make one big image. This goes for those too, because it's just like you're seeing like a picture of someone's elbow Yeah, but someone's elbow in the screen and it's probably gonna get skipped or ignored. And to the algorithm, that's bad because now your page looks like your page is posting content that's boring and content that will not keep people's attention on the app. Try your best to have all your content in some way, shape, or form have a value to your online tribe. And I have some bonus advice because you're likely here because you want to refocus and kind of shift the way you use social media. And so this advice is going to be on cleansing your account. So to get rid of things on your account that you don't want hogging your attention anymore, or you have like a lot of big booty models on your account and you decide that you should do better, just start simply ignoring those posts. Start ignoring the big booty models and start turning your engagement and start commenting and liking and sharing content that you actually want to learn and start seeing more of. And then all those new interests will suddenly and swiftly start popping at the top of your timeline. And over time, you will forget that the big booty models ever existed, because those will no longer rank on your feed and all your new interests will. So continue your growth by checking out this video here that lets you know what content you should be posting to optimize your online traffic. And be sure to subscribe and drop a comment below on how you plan to change your social media habits, maybe based on this video or any other research you've been doing. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and get to your IG page and change it to a business account. Until next time.